obviously there's so much talent here, great coaches, great players. It's just bonding in the locker room and getting to know one another and going out there and, like I said, creating that brotherhood. And, you know, I know it's already begun here, and I'm a new player here, so I have to get to know everyone. But that's really it. We want to complicate football with X's and O's, and that is such an important part of the game. But the most important part is the locker room and that relationship thing. And that's where my focus has always been and always will be.
Nick Foles looking sharp, looking clean with that first day of school haircut, introduced on his first day as a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-year deal worth $22 million per year. And he is very big on relationships, getting to know his teammates. And Big Cat, last year in Jacksonville, they did have some issues from time to time. I think the adversity that they didn't expect to have contributed to that sense from time to time of dysfunction. Is it too much to say that if you establish the right relationships within a locker room, if everybody holds together in the tough times, that will carry you to success?
I do think there is something to be said for the personality of Nick Foles, and you hear it. I think there's no coincidence that you had the same kind of anonymous stuff come out about Carson Wentz, and that, to me, put off a little red flag in my head where I said, maybe it's not Carson Wentz. Maybe Nick Foles is such a dynamic leader, and you've never heard anyone come out and say Nick Foles isn't a great locker room guy. So it is a great move in that respect if you're trying to repair, you know, what became a disastrous season for the Jacksonville Jaguars last year. The crazy thing to me is Nick Foles in 2016 was ready to retire from the National Football League. I mean, that's insane. He went on to win a Super Bowl. He went on to sign an $88 million deal. It's incredible to think about how this guy could have very easily walked away, and the ups and downs of his career. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I can't remember the exact numbers, but the Chip Kelly year when he was, I think it was 27 touchdowns and
27 and 2. Yep.
27 and 2.
27 and 2.
To almost being out of the NFL, to winning a Super Bowl for a city that had never won a Super Bowl and was craving that Super Bowl in Philadelphia, where he will be a legend for life, to now signing an $88 million contract in Jacksonville. What a story for the last few years with Nick Foles.
He tied the single-game record with 7 touchdown passes in 2013 against the Oakland Raiders. It prompted Chip Kelly to declare that he would be the Eagles quarterback for the next 1,000 years, because that was a time when Jeff Florio, the owner of the team, had just said we need to find a franchise quarterback. And then it wasn't long after that they swapped him for Sam Bradford. And, you know, you buried the lead on why Nick Foles almost quit football. It was his 1 year with your guy Jeff Fisher that almost caused Nick Foles to give up football forever.
I didn't bury the lead. I intentionally left that out. I left those facts out. But Nick Foles, here's the only thing. With all this said about how crazy it's been with a ride for Nick Foles and the $88 million contract and the Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, I still am not 100% convinced that he is. I think he's a good quarterback. He's not great in my mind. And maybe this is the recipe, though, because the Jaguars are in a win-now mode with the defense they put together. And the fact they were 2 years ago, they were, some may say this is the best team in the NFL going into that, game against the Patriots. They almost won. They destroyed the Steelers. So I think it's a good spot for Nick Foles. If he can be good, will that be good enough? That's really the question for me for Nick Foles in Jacksonville.
The one thing that we don't know is he kind of like a sneaky natural leader? Is he not like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, but a guy who just naturally will come in the room and take it over, not by being a jerk, but by being a nice guy and getting to know everybody and getting people over to his house for dinner and spending time and maybe kind of breaking down some of the rough edges that we've seen from some of these guys. Like, what if he can get through to Leonard Fournette and get Fournette to fulfill his potential, have those conversations about, man, if you just would really put the work in, you could be one of the all-time greats, and connect at that level and just push guys' buttons and get them to come together. I think that special things could be happening for Nick Foles, especially because folks like you think that they won't happen.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.